Our first guest of the day is a man with a vision. The idea is to make Drishane Castle a world-class venue. His name is Conodonovan, and I'm delighted to say he's joining us on the line all the way from, I'm guessing, sunny Australia. Morning, Con. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks. I'm a bit hot, but it's been great weather.
Yeah, rub it in. What are we talking about, 30 degrees or so? It's slap bang in your summer, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, 41 degrees today, I think it was.
You couldn't spare a few for us, could you? 41, that's getting a bit greedy now.
I can stick a bit in the post for you if you want.
Cool, man. To get here for summer anyway, cool, man. Right now, Con, first of all, just for anyone who doesn't know, can you just tell them a little bit about Drishane Castle, first of all?
Well, the history of the castle, basically there's a tower that was built about about 1450, and then there's a three-storey kind of a larger castle that was built around, I suppose, around the 18th century, and the castle was taken over became a convent in 1909 by the Sisters of Infant Jesus, and it was a boarding school for many years until 1992. So a lot of people, since I started this, a lot of people have been contacting me that actually went to the college and went to the school and have very fond memories, and it actually means an awful lot to them, you know. So it's really nice to try and make something again happen there, you know.
It's just the location. It's near Mill Street, I believe, is it?
Yeah, it's just over 2 kilometres away from Mill Street, where there's a lot of famous things went on in Mill Street. The 1993 Eurovision Song Contest, when Niamh Kavanagh won with the song "In Your Eyes," you know. That's right, yeah. And they hold a lot of, like, Green Glens itself is already, you know, well established as a good venue. It's got an indoor facility. It can hold about 8,000 people, and they have the biggest horse show there, and lots of conventions, and they hold boxing, Disney on Ice, lots of other concerts too. A lot of other people have played there. But
that was where, sorry to interrupt, that was where Steve Collins beat Chris Eubank, I think, was it? Back in...
yeah, I think so. I'm not too well up on the history of it now. My focus is on a slightly different thing.
No worries. And just explain to me, how and why did you have your vision for transforming the castle into a concert venue?
Well, to be honest, back in 2010, I met. I'm very, good friends with Thomas Duggan. His family owned the castle, and he invited me to come and give him a hand with a benefit event that was taking place for a little Polish baby called Baby Jacob. And I was delighted to help out, you know, of course, who wouldn't? But when I went down to the castle with Thomas, I just had a kind of, this is amazing, you know, and I had just an idea, it's just almost like an epiphany, it just came to me, and I just blurted out my idea. And a few weeks later, Thomas came back to me and said, "We want you to, you know, carry this forward and kind of make it happen." And that's kind of what I've been working on for the last over 2 years now, I suppose, really, you know. Okay, so what is just explain what is your actual vision for it? Where do your ideal in 5 years' time? Tell us what does Drishane Castle look like, and what does it do? Well, it's just the location. First of all, there's about a 100-acre site, and to me it's a perfect amphitheatre for a large-scale musical event, something like in the region of 80 to 100,000 people. It's got huge potential. There's a fantastic road network. It's in rural Ireland. It's on the, you know, you played Thin Lizzy there. It's on the Cork and Kerry Mountains. Amazing scenery. It's got a train station 2 kilometres away. So there's a lot of things that logistically it's really good. It all points in the one direction. You know, a large scale musical event. So that's my vision. That's my thought of having a large scale, you know, big world-class bands come and play to huge audiences, you know, that type of way, you know. Yeah. How do you plan, or are there wheels in motion about achieving your goal forward, or what's the plan? Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a lot of work. I've done a lot of work very subtly and behind the scenes. You know, what I'm doing at the moment and what I've been doing the last 6 months or so, or even more, is building a kind of a ground spread, like a foundation, getting the interest from people, letting promoters and artists and bands and so on, managers, know that it's coming up and it's going to happen. We're hoping to go for planning now in the next couple of weeks, and to get a license to hold an event, hopefully sometime late summer. It's all very much up in the air at the moment. But it's all there. It's just got to gravitate in now and got to pull it all together.
What kind of financial background do you need for this? I mean, is it a case where you're looking for sponsorship already, or do you have private investors, or what way does it work?
Well, we have a few options, but I suppose if there are any would-be investors out there that want to get on board, we'd obviously be happy to discuss it with anyone. But at the moment, I'm focusing on getting the right type of band in there, and once that happens, the rest will click into place, you know.
And you've been, I think you said you've been in negotiation, or you've been speaking to some pretty big names in the music world about getting them to play, and they've expressed an interest. Is that right?
Well, yes, yeah. There is. Like 2 weeks ago, I've got calls from lots of bands. I'm not going to name any bands now, of course, because I don't think it'd be fair, and it might put pressure where there doesn't need to be pressure. But I have been talking to some very interesting people, and the interest is there. The thing about it is it's a great venue, and it touches it's grassroots. It's honest. It's the Cork and Kerry Mountains. What better could you get? Like how you couldn't get any better than that, you know.
Your own background is it's not in event management or staging these big events. It's in construction. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I'm a carpenter by trade. I've had my own company in Ireland for many years, building houses, the whole spectrum of building. To my mind, if you can build a house, you can build anything, you know. And this is what I'm doing. I'm starting with the foundation, and I'm working my way up. But I've also lots of other interests, music, and I've played in many bands for years. And I'm an artist, photographer, filmmaker. You know, you can't pigeonhole just one aspect. It's many talents that come into play here, and
you'd need it really for organising something like this as well.
Yeah. The biggest thing is your imagination. You know, just because someone might say, well, you know, this isn't going to happen. It's impossible. You know, that kind of spurs me on to say, well, why shouldn't it happen? You know, make it happen. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the fact that I think it was in 2010. I think just the basically recession kind of maybe force is the wrong word, but it led you yourself and your family to relocation to Australia. So how's that fitting in with your plan for turning the castle into a concert venue? Is it holding you back, the fact that you're halfway around the world?
Not at all, actually. It's in many ways it's an advantage, because with distance comes perspective or whatever. Yeah. You know, so you know, it's funny when you go away and travel away to other parts of the world and you look back and you see what's going on at home. You know, it's good to be out of it. You're working on your own palette, you know.
Yeah.
So you really only, you know, you can do an awful lot, and especially nowadays with the internet, Skype and things like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those things, you can create a lot of interest. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can do an awful lot. And then you can pull it all together. You know, you don't have to be physically in the country to do it, you know, which is very good.
Yeah.
Because we're actually living at the moment where we're about half an hour outside kind of the biggest inland city in New South Wales. So we're in the country, we're in a rural environment. The main thing for me is to have a good internet connection, which sometimes is a bit dodgy, but so you can get a lot of work done, you know, and that's what I've been doing. I've been focused especially the last year since we've come here. I had a bit of free time, so I kind of picked up this project again, and I've been working hard at it since, you know.
Interesting,
It's growing in momentum.
just in terms of the just on a kind of more of a personal level, many of our listeners, they'll have relatives or friends, you know, who've gone to Australia for economic reasons in the past 3, 4, 5 years. Just personally, how was the process for you of relocating to Australia? Is it something you've enjoyed, or I mean, does the heartstrings still kind of tug you back towards this side of the world?
Well, you know, there's no place like home, obviously, but and your family. My parents are living in Ballincollig, and my brothers and sisters are there, and I suppose Christmas and things like that are a bit difficult, but it's all right, It's going in my throat. But that's the thing, with Skype, I call home every couple of days, and it's or maybe twice a week. So, it's not like
it's not like 20 years ago when you were gone kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a different thing now, So, and travel is fairly, you're only a day away, so that's the way to look at it.
Okay, very interesting. Just finally then, just what's your next step in making your vision and your dream a reality? Is it to get a licensing permission at this stage? Is it?
Yeah, we're going for planning. That's the plan. We're going for planning. That'll take about 4 months, and in that time we'll be working. Then hopefully I'll get some news from. I have a band in mind actually, but I'm waiting on some feedback.
No worries.
Really, when that happens, that will just if and when it happens. But we have other contingency plans for it. But my idea is I want to create a show here. I want to show the world that rural Ireland, or Ireland is a small country on the edge of Europe. We have so much to offer, even though we probably don't see it at the moment because of the economic situation and the way the country is due to the recession and austerity and all this. But it is a great country, and to my mind it's exported a lot of people throughout the world, almost like a silent invasion. And I see the future is to draw on those resources. Pull that interest back to the country, and that's where the future, I believe. I
think that's what the government are trying to do at the moment with the Gathering 2013, where
exactly, yeah, it's the first time this resource has been tapped into, and it's a huge resource,
Absolutely, I saw. Yeah, it really does look, and it's I don't want to be too harsh, but it looks like one of the rare moments where the government, use a bit of vision for something like this. As you say, it's an untapped resource. So, it could be something that could help turn around the whole economy. And
well, it will. That's the thing. Because if you can tap into the goodwill of the people of Irish ancestors in all the other countries around the world, you're going to create a wave that will go around the world many times. It's just a case of focusing on the right vision and making it happen,
Absolutely. Well, so that hopefully your own vision as well will come true, and hopefully I'll be making my way down to Drishane Castle over the next few years to see one of the world's top bands and have a good day out. And I'm sure you'll sort us out for a free ticket as well, Con. Is that right?
And a pint of Murphy's.
Good man. Well, it's the kind of thing very, very interesting having you on, and best of luck with that. And hopefully we'll keep in touch and just see how you're getting on as things develop.
Thank you very much, Cian. Say hello. I'd like to say hello to everyone at home in Ireland, all my friends and family and relations, and all the best.
No worries at all. Listen, enjoy the sun there anyway. That's Con is gone. We're going to take some ads.